Hello, this is Milton Johnson, your financial coach for another day here on social media. And I'm glad that you are joining me. And if you're not here right now, definitely look forward to seeing you on the replay. Just want to let you know, as I said, my name is Milton Johnson, and I help professional small business owners design a financial blueprint to reduce debt, to increase your savings and investments, to reach your financial goals and retirement through my roadmap to financial freedom method. Hey, I'm just excited about today to actually talk about something that is near and dear to my heart because people always talk about their successes, talk about financial freedom, so things they have done in the past and currently doing, and they're so excited. They're on a financial roadmap to wealth and great things happen. But along this journey to financial freedom, whatever that financial freedom is to you, we have some road bumps. There are some potholes. There are some challenges along this roadmap to your financial freedom. And today I want to talk about how to deal with setbacks in your finance. So during this role, you're doing great. But how do you deal when there is a setback or even maybe a series of setbacks in your finance? They can be devastating and they can be challenging to you and to your family. So I want to talk about that today, hopefully to get some insight to encourage someone that may actually be going through a financial setback right now, or maybe facing some financial challenges. I just want to be able to give some encouragement, some things that I think will help, some things that have helped me in the past. Because I started off, as I have a degree in accounting, and my story is when I've always done well with finances. Now, I've done well with saving ever since I was a kid. I save my allowance whenever I was able to get one. My mom, she's a single mom, and so there wasn't too many times that we would get allowances. But I would save whenever I got a chance to get some money. Say for instance, if I got $5, I was going to try to save at least a dollar or two. And when I would go to the summer with my dad to Detroit, go back home, and we had a regular allowance during that time. We go up to see visit him during the summer, and that's when I actually developed a constantly saving. Every time we got our allowance, my brother and I would save some money. The first thing we would do would actually pay our tithes. So my dad was like, "You need to pay your 10%." So that's one of the first things we did. We took out 10%, paid that, and we actually saved during that journey. So that put some insight in me to actually develop skills of saving during that time. So fast forward to when I got married, I actually had some money. I had several $1,000s saved up when I left home from my mom. I was 24 at the time, had finished college. I was attending graduate school at the time, working hard. So I was advised that house buying on the home was actually better than buying an apartment. That's what I had wanted to do at that time, find an apartment for my family, my wife, and our son that we had, Travis. And so I wanted to make sure they were secure. And so I bought a home, had thousands of dollars saved up, and was well disciplined and focused on my savings objective. I was regimented and disciplined in that. And so when I got married, I carried a lot of the discipline acts of paying bills because now I have a house mortgage. So I got that. And so I started listing some things of actually paying bills. I had a summary. I had put my bills up here. I written it down. It was very simplistic. Written it down on paper, put the months up, and every month I would check everything off to make sure that every bill was paid. And for several years, I did not have a late bill. All of my bills were paid on time. And so that's the thing about things can go great. Things were going great at that time, but you have to always remember that when things going great, you have to be diligent in making sure that you don't detour from what was keeping you in uh, a great atmosphere or a great way of saving your money. And so I started to deviate from some things that I had learned in the past. We had bought a bigger house, started making more money. And when you make more money, guess what? You want to do better. Man, you see other people moving in big houses, they getting in new vehicles. Hey, I was that way. I'm young. I was like, man, I can get a big house too. So I went and got a much bigger house. We got some newer vehicles. Man, we were looking great. Had a big pool in the backyard. Man, had a diving board. I had like a fishing pond in the back. People would love to come over there and swim. You could dive with the diving board, swim laps. Man, things looked great. It felt great to be in that nice size house. It was just like one of the biggest great rooms I had ever seen. Big, huge master bedroom. And it was actually hard to fill it up, even with the furniture we had, because it was that big. But the thing about it, it came with a cost. Getting those new vehicles came with a cost. Insurance went up, mortgages up, car payments went up. We still like to take some trips every now and then, like to eat out, like to buy new clothes, buy new things. And so for the first few years I was married, things were going pretty good. Great. Didn't have that much stress with finance. But as you continue to look, I always tell people now, don't look at the Joneses, don't look at what other people are doing. And things will actually put you on the wrong roadmap, take you off of the roadmap to success. And I did just that. Took my eye off the ball. Started doing some very shaky, risky investments, and then it's pan out. We just started just spending money like I guess like it was going out of style. I had got credit card debt, mortgage debt, car notes, and everything going out the roof. And next thing you know, everything was out of control. And I started to notice, I said, oh man, things are going out of control. I used to tell my wife, everything, man, everything is going in the wrong direction. So I thought that when I got promoted, things would get better. So I got promoted, uh, started making a little bit more money, getting bonuses. But the thing about more money, it's not about necessarily more money. It's about how you manage the money that you already have. Actually, things got worse when I got promoted. Everything started to go even downhill quicker after getting promoted, and did a lot of things for a few years working in this position. Seemed like I could not turn the financial picture around at that time. So we started to dive deeper and deeper into a deep black hole until one day I was like, man, I have and I actually blame myself because I'm the man of the house. I don't want that kept up the finance. I say I'm the leader. So I put it all on me. I say, how can I let my family down this way? And I'm saying this is a terrible thing. And things was going so bad, I just couldn't believe it. And I was looking at TV one. I remember, because you think about people used to file bankruptcy. I was like, man, those are like some of the worst people. I say, how did they're not managing their money right? Now all of a sudden they just want to write off everything and then just start over. I thought that was like a worst thing to do. I was like, those people are crazy. There's no way you need to be able to file bankruptcy. And then years later, I'm looking at TV in despair, broken down, don't know the next move. I was like, man, only thing I could think of, there was a commercial that came into my bankruptcy. Actually, I saw a guy that I actually used to go to school with. And he was talking. I was like, man, maybe this is a sign right here. And fast forward, I actually talked with the guy, and he said, I can help you out. And I'm telling you, things had gotten so bad. I remember reaching in my pocket. and this is no joke because we started selling a lot of stuff. Sold some jewelry, started selling like some coin. We just start selling stuff in the house just to get money. And I reached in my pocket one day. I had 50 cents. I had depleted myself to everything but 50 cents, and that was all I had in my pocket. And the thing about it, the couldn't pay the mortgage on time, and so we started getting these notices. They're gonna foreclose on the house. I was like, oh man, I don't know what I'm gonna do. All I can do is just pray, have faith. But every time they sent that foreclosure statement saying your house could be sold, I was like, oh man, is this the week? Is this the day? Instead of on, man, I was on pins and needles. But I kept praying. That's the thing I did not stop doing. I kept praying for God going to turn things around. And actually, I was able to stay in that house for a year without making any mortgage payments. We had different programs, things of that nature. And so God allowed for me to be able to stay in that program and not pay any mortgage interest, any payment for a year. So I was able to do that. But in the midst of that, I just went ahead and filed bankruptcy. That's like, there's nothing else I can do. I mean, they're about to come get this house. I thought we was going to move somewhere else. That did not work out. And I was like, oh man, nothing is working out. So I was like, only thing I could do is just trust and depend on God and believe and trust my family. My wife, she never doubted the turnaround. She never doubted me. And we came, even closer together because it wasn't a struggle just for me or a struggle just for her. It was a struggle that we were in together. And that's one of the things I had to think about. We had to do it together. And one of my strategies about coming out of a financial setback, because that was a great financial setback. I mean, I was disappointed, embarrassed, disenfranchised. I mean, man, I just couldn't believe how things had shifted so fast from where we were at to where we were at that particular time. It's just like, man, I had lost my foresight of where we need to go, dropped the ball, and things went down as a result. But the thing is, you can't throw in the towel. You have to maintain the faith no matter what. And so even during my downtime, even though when things were going bad, I knew that things could get better. I knew that it wasn't going to stay that way at all time. And my wife was there to as comfort and support, and we were there to encourage one another. And that's something to find somebody that can keep you encouraged, keep you motivated to keep on going, in spite of what the situation was look like. It looked very bleak. It looked very dark. You didn't see a way out. I didn't see a way out. Only thing I saw was just um, bills coming in that particular time, and just the notices coming in. But after I filed bankruptcy, it actually provided some relief. I was like, man, guy came in and said, don't pay any more bills. I said, what? He said, don't pay nothing. I said, wow, this is great. He said, yeah, don't pay anything else. And he worked things out. But one of the main reasons you don't want to pay because you really got to pay his fee as well. So, so that's another thing. So you have to pay his fee as well. And he worked it out, got a lot of things, wiped the slate clean, or bills or things that we owe. I was like, wow, man, it was like so much relief off of me. But he said going to stay in there for 10 years. I was like, well, I didn't want anything to stay on my credit for 10 years, but I had to bite the bullet. I had to do what I had to do at that particular time to get through this financial hurdle that my family and I were in. And so we was able to weather the storm and get through that through faith and not giving in, not throwing in the towel, but believing things were going to get better. Second thing we had to do was actually regroup and get a financial plan in place. So I had to get another financial plan that we could stick to, be disciplined uh, and focused. So we started to communicate even more together. And that's one thing we weren't doing as well as we should have, was communicating our needs as far as finance, what we want to buy, what we wanted to get, what she wanted, what I wanted. Sometimes we were on two different pages, but I started to write down things more about our finances, particularly our bills, and we started to have more discussions on what we were going to do on our next move. Whenever we got money, okay, there's discussion. How are we going to spend this money so that we can all be on the same page in doing that? Another thing is when you're able to get started again, you're back in another financial position. Time to start back saving. Time to get back in the game. So my thing was, okay, this house is over. Eventually lost it, moved out of that. Our mind said, okay, how can we get back into the next house? I mean, we used to being homeowners. What can we do to get back? I mean, we can't be detoured. We can't. I mean, we're shaking, but we can't fall off. You fall down, but you get back up again. And then if you fall down, what? You get back up again. And somebody said, well, I fell down 3 times, but you know what? Get back up again and start all over and give it another try. So we got back in the ball game. We started praying. We started being united together in one mindset of what we need to do to get back into our next home. So we started playing a lot of debt eliminated. So that was a really opportune time to actually start back saving during that time. So we actually started back getting back things back on track, got things on track. At a couple of years, guess what? We was able to move back into another house. My God, we was able to get back into another house, and we loved it. Big yard, it's more modern, and we loved the area. I even was able to get another vehicle in the midst of. I think we probably got a couple more vehicles in the midst of that. But during that time, that taught me one thing, that we definitely have to communicate. If you're in a relationship, especially man, husband, wife, or whatever relationship you're in, there have to be communication. Communication is the key. Everyone getting on board, everything lining up, and you being focused on your finances, being focused on your marriage, being focused on your relationship, being focused emotionally and spiritually aligned in your relationship. That actually helps out tremendously. And we started to get even more so aligned. I remember I just be writing out things. That's what we need to do. Okay, when you get paid, okay, we got $200-300 left. What are we gonna do with that? Okay, you want to do this, you want to do this. Okay, this is what left. Okay, this is what we need to save. This is what we can't invest. Because you want to still continue to save and invest along the way. And that's one thing you don't want to stop if you can. Even if it's $5 or $10, you want to be able to save and invest along the journey until you're able to build up to invest even more. So that was a way that we actually came out of our financial setback. And the thing we had to do to maintain not going back into bankruptcy is just making sure that we made looking at our finances carefully. I know recently we had a conversation recently about our finances, what we want to spend it on. This is what we need to be doing. Our son's getting ready to go back to school, so we need to be looking at things that he needs. This is his senior year, so things we need to be looking at is college. College applications, senior prom, senior trip, band trips, senior pictures. So these are things that we are already planned. Matter of fact, we was talking about this earlier this year. We was putting money away for that in advance. So not trying to wait until the last minute and say, okay, oh man, we need to try to come up with the money for him. The money is already set aside, not only for that or in case some type of emergency comes up. And I always want to have some type of money, some type of emergency fund just in case something comes up. And then we want to talk about that more later in depth. I talked about emergency fund, but how powerful an emergency fund can be. And a true emergency fund is 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses. but you want to have at least $1,000 to $1,500 as a starter. That's the key word. That's a starter emergency fund for you. So make sure you have at least that. That can cover at least a lot of your basic needs in case something happened with your car. So you need some type of repair in your home or your house, or you maybe even may need to just take a trip. A loved one may be sick, your mom or your dad, brother, sister, son, daughter. You may need to take a trip to see them. At least you have some funds available to make that trip. So that's one of the things I want to talk about, how to get out of a financial setback. No, and keep on moving. I just want to encourage you not to give up. And if you're having problems and still can't see a way out, definitely feel free to reach out to me. You can click on this link. It looks like a chain. It will go to my website. You can go contact us, and you can actually set up an appointment, give me a call, and we could talk, and I could coach you through this situation because I've been through it. I know what it's going to take to get you through it, and we can get a plan to work it out just for you. And if there's anything else I need, definitely feel free to reach out to me. If you have any questions about other financial situations that you would like for me to talk about or discuss, put it in my DM or put it in the chat below. I would definitely love to talk about that in the future. I have one thing I want to talk about. Someone requested is about insurance, using it as an inheritance. So I definitely would look forward to talking about that in the next few days. This is Milton Johnson, your financial coach. You be blessed. Until tomorrow at 7 o'clock. See you then.